The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. The light doth obey my command.
Ouch. Why do I always forget the last one?
Where near or far. Where high or low. Light unyielding. Refulgence eternal. By blade! Succumb not to fear! Where near or far.
Oh, I rolled a 1 on the coffer. Nice.
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? By crystal's light. Light unyielding.
Why?
Divine radiance. Where near or far. By blade! Crystals of light, to me! Here. The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. Find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. The light doth obey my command. Light unyielding. Refulgence eternal. Where near or far. Where high or low. By blade! Succumb not to fear! Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? By crystal's light. Where near or far. Divine Radiance! Light unyielding! By blade! Crystals of light, to me! The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. The light doth obey my command. Light unyielding. Refulgence eternal. Where near or far. Where high or low. By blade! Succumb not to fear! Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? By crystal's light. Where near or far. Divine Radiance! Light unyielding! By blade! Crystals of light, to me. Here. The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. Find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. The light doth obey my command.
Oh, oopsie.
Where near or far. Where high or low. Light unyielding. Revive! Vengeance eternal! By blade! Succumb not to fear! Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? By crystal's light. Where near or far. Divine Radiance! Light unyielding! By blade! Crystals of light, to me! Here! The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness. Follow your light! Or fly, my children, and never look back! Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. The light doth obey my command. Light unyielding. Refulgence eternal. We're near or far. We're high or low. By blade! Succumb not to fear!
I probably have to work Wednesday and Thursday, unfortunately, because of the holidays. Well, I would be back in time for raid, but I can't log in because I'm back like half an hour before raid. That's fine. On the 4th. You guys. Well then, 1 second. Alright, just wanted to quickly take on the other headset. It's quite the thing with 2 headsets all the time. Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty successful day. Unfortunately, I didn't get the mount. I'm usually a bit more lucky with that kind of stuff. I mean, at least I got 1 more weapon coffer. I don't even know how many frickin' weapons I have now. I think probably like 6 or 7, something like that. But yeah, I mean, a bit unfortunate that I didn't get the mount from Heidelin with an 88. But then again, it's cool that it actually dropped, right? I mean, every mount drop means that at least out of our static, 1 person has it, right? So if we keep farming this stuff, I mean, I don't know, obviously, when Savage drops. We don't really raid next week, because a lot of people have stuff to do, so, and it's not really worth it, obviously, because, well, Savage hasn't dropped yet, right? And doing the normal modes, just, you know, as a raid group isn't really worth it, and again, farming will still be possible and far easier in the future. But I did get a 94 pass on Heidelin, actually, as a summoner, which, that's kind of good. I was a little bit annoyed with the fact that it didn't have purple before. Obviously, that was also partly because of the, because of my gear. That just makes a big difference, right? Doesn't change the fact that I'm still not really a big fan, especially of Heidelin. Again, Zodiark as a fight, I don't mind that much, because it's very much in line with, you know, sort of a launch day EX trial. It has cool visuals, and a neat sort of trick to the mechanics, right? I mean, it's still, I would say Zodiark is still fairly punishing if you don't really know what you're doing, but at the same time fairly easy if you do, right? So it's, I think it does sort of have a nice balance in that regard, right? I mean, it's very similar to Innocence in a way, for example, in terms of sort of the challenge of the mechanics and stuff. I'm still not a big fan of Heidelin. Heidelin is just, for a lot of it, very, very boring. Like, she has some phases that are just very standard, very boring, not a lot going on. Especially, again, the randomness is what's missing from Heidelin. It does have some, but it's really awkwardly placed, like almost, like, why make it random at all if it's just gonna be, like, one really not all that important thing in, like, stream mechanics, right? I wish that it would be a bit more random, and again, I'm just not a big fan of the light waves in Heidelin. Visually, they look pretty bad, and they just, I don't know, like, they're just not, that line of sighting isn't such a big deal in and of itself. I think it's just a combination of everything being white during that phase. Like, it's actually hard to see. And I don't like that. Like, it's a very, there's so much going on during that phase, and I know that I have all the effects turned on, but that's how I want to play, right? That's how the game is designed. And, I think it's really, really annoying line of sighting those crystals. The only thing that I like about that phase is when you split into 3 groups and have to line of sight the last crystal. That, I think, is actually fairly well done in terms of the mechanic, right? It's just especially the first crystals and then also the middle one. It's visually very weird. And then she sort of awkwardly jumps to a corner. Not really a corner, obviously the arena's round, but you know what I mean, right? To an intercardinal or something. But not really. She's sort of awkwardly standing to the side, and then you have to go behind her and also still line of sight the other crystal, which is, there's a white crystal on a white background somewhere inside her hitbox, while 7 other people are standing there while you're summoning, while all the effects are going on, right? I don't really like that. I think they could have done a better job of sort of, I mean, again, it's not about the mechanic. It's more about its visuals and also you being able to properly see where you are standing, that kind of stuff, right? And usually they're very good with that. And usually it's also very clear in terms of the arena, for example, where you are, where you're standing, where you have to go. But for some reason, I don't know, that design of that phase is just awkward. I also think that the arena during the normal, quote-unquote normal phases, like when she does her inside, outside stuff, point-blank donut, right, and her intercardinal and group stacks and all that kind of stuff, the arena looks so cool with this icy blue and the, like, a star sort of shapes going through it. And then for some reason during the light phase, not only the light waves look bad, the background looks bad. Like there's a really bad texture actually, I think, on the sort of light crystal background, especially during the ad phase. And the light crystals themselves are just this awkward, not really white, but sort of yellow-white, and I don't know, it's just visually not a very appealing thing, actually. And again, it's not like the whole fight is like that. Parts of the fight look absolutely incredible, especially with the music going on in the background, and the Heidelin model looking incredible as well. But yeah, for some reason they decided, oh no, we have to make something awkward looking and put it in the fight as well. It's just, again, a very, very weird thing. And yeah, the line of sighting is just sort of awkward, and the later on, the second light waves is also just unnecessary. I don't know why they decided to do it like that. It's such a weird mechanic, because nothing really happens during that phase. Like, you're literally looking to one corner, moving to the opposite one of where the waves are closest, and then just stand there. And the light waves are looking bad again, and then for some reason there is an AoE spread after that takes really, really long to go off, while she's sort of awkwardly almost at the edge of the arena. Again, really weird. And there are so many other cool mechanics they could have done. I mean, the chakrams, for example, are a really cool mechanic because it does the water spread in between with the two groups, and the water stack thing on the healers. Right? Why didn't they use that mechanic for other parts? I don't know. Just put that mechanic in a second time, and in that instance, do the echo multiple hit stack thing, right? That would have been a lot better than having these awkward light waves going through a second time. I don't know. It's just so unfortunate, right? Because if they would have done the visuals like in a slightly different way, and if the light waves wouldn't be looking as awkward as they do, I think it would actually be pretty cool, right? And again, I'm not even like, the mechanics of the fight in terms of difficulty are kind of fine. They could use some more randomness, definitely, but they're not bad at all for a launch primal. Again, I'm still sticking to the opinion that if you combine both of them, like individually, they're certainly not the best launch fights we had, but combine both of them, sort of on average, together, they both are definitely the best launch fights that we've had so far. Because usually one was not that great and the other one was cool. Now we have two good ones, right? It's just very unfortunate because I feel like both fights, had they worked a little bit better on the visuals, I think both fights could have been far better, right? Now, having said that though, especially for Savage, for the raid, it's looking really, really good. Obviously, will depend on what mechanics they actually come up with. But aside from the third fight, which I'm not so sure about, I mean, it could have really incredible mechanics, right? We don't know yet. There could be some really cool stuff in Savage coming up. It might be an actually challenging third fight. We don't know that. I'm still holding out hope. I don't think it will be, but who knows? But that being said, though, I think that the other fights as well, they're really cool. They have a bunch of unique stuff in them, and I do think that they will be pretty fun in Savage. And then also one thing that's certainly great is that both Zodiac and Heidelin, I think, will be fun farming. Heidelin's ad phase, maybe not so much. Although then again, it's actually not that long. So, I think this is going to be fine. Yeah, the ad phase in Heidelin as well, that's it's a bit of an awkward one. Because once again, like, why put in the possibility of having like two different starting points? That's just awkward, right? Why do that? Just make it the same starting point every time, honestly. It's just, for consistency's sake, it's a lot better. because this way it's really, really annoying, right? For some reason, getting the red starting crystal seems to be a lot more common. I don't know if that's, once again, some sort of weird particular thing because we are in there with a certain group, and that's, I don't know, that somehow determines what which crystal it starts on more often or something. I don't know. No idea actually. But it's just a weird thing, right? Because sometimes, for example, when it's the other way around, right? Suddenly, maybe your first attack on the crystal is still an attack where it's tethered to the ad, right? So there's all this kind of weird inconsistency in there, where there might still be a tether from an ad on a crystal, and your attack maybe doesn't get registered or something. I mean, that ad phase in terms of parsing is really weird anyway, right? I mean, you can pad a lot if you want. So I don't know. I mean, not that I really care. I have my fairly good locks on both of them, and I don't really care. Why would I care getting an orange lock on them? I didn't even care enough to put in, like, materia in all of my slots, right? So that's not a big deal at all, but it's just kind of awkward because it doesn't feel that great during the ads phase, right? Especially with the summoner now having to sort of awkwardly juggle between your summons and then having to think about, where do I put the Garuda AoE stuff? And I mean, that the same thing probably holds true for a lot of other jobs as well, when you sort of have to think about, well, do I want to put a dot here? Like, these things, I never, in general, I never like ad phases where the ads are actually dying quickly. That's, not that great, to be honest. Simply for the fact that, it's just always this awkward thing, right? Because it's not like you either have incredibly fast dying ads where you literally only have to hit them like once or something, or ads that die slowly. It's always this weird awkwardness where they're just alive long enough that maybe a dot might actually be worth more than your normal attack, but maybe also not, and then it sort of, I don't know, right? It gets into all kinds of weird feelings. I mean, the ad phase in Heidelin in general is really, really weird. For example, I do think that it's worth it, at least for our kill time that we had, which is around, I think, 8 minutes 40 or something. It's definitely worth it, or in general, I think, as a summoner currently, it's definitely worth it summoning Bahamut before the ad phase starts, but not using your party buff. Keeping your party buff for the ad phase, but summoning Bahamut before. Simply because otherwise you land in this awkward position where you're doing the what's it called? Your party buff. You'll always want to do at the start of the ad phase, right? But if you also summon Bahamut at the same time, then you run to this awkward thing where the ad phase actually, I think it currently we take about like 50 or 55 seconds for the ad phase usually, depending. Which means that if you summon Bahamut at the start of it, you don't get Phoenix at the end. Meaning you can't summon Phoenix, and once the ad phase is over, you have to summon Phoenix, but then, because of that pause in between, your party buff will be back up in like 40 seconds or 45 seconds, but you're just summoning Phoenix now. So either you have to delay your party buff by 15 seconds, which, well, I mean, to be honest, I don't entirely know when other people are actually using the party buffs, because I have absolutely no fucking idea what party buffs we actually have, right? Aside from the healer ones. Or rather, when we had a scholar, obviously we have chain sometime during the fight, but other than that, I don't know how Reaper works. I have absolutely no idea, so, I mean, it's not that I care, it's just, there is some weird awkwardness there. It's definitely worth it summoning Bahamut before the ads phase, going into the ads phase with your other summons, and finishing the ads phase on Phoenix, because then you will fairly quickly get Bahamut back. And also you'll get back Bahamut right when you're stacking behind the crystals anyway, which is cool for your party buff. And I don't know, for some reason I had a couple of runs where for some reason my party buff was coming up right when the line ice stuff goes out, which is also weird. I don't know why that happened, to be completely honest. Maybe I did something wrong during those phases. I don't know. There's all kinds of awkwardness with it, and I don't know why they design these fights like that. I mean, you know, again, it's fine to a certain extent to have fights that require you to think about party buffs, right? But first of all, I think that should more or less be a Savage thing or an Ultimate thing, right? And Ultimate, obviously, it's really, really important, but also in Savage, I think you know, if different sort of timings demand that you shift around your party buffs, I think that's pretty cool. Doing that in an extreme trial fight, that can also vary wildly in terms of, like, because the Savage raid will take a long time to be overgeared, especially the later tiers, right? There won't be, like, they won't suddenly go massively faster just because people switch from pentamelded crafted gear to their Savage gear, right? Especially the third and fourth fight won't change all that much. These primals, however, they will change drastically already when Savage releases, right? So it's going to be even more awkward, sort of, for example, having a way faster ads phase in Heidelin. That's already being, like, that will be weird because suddenly you will have, maybe you'll even run into problems on Summoner, for example, where you can't even summon Phoenix during the ads phase. So then you're suddenly dealing with the same problem all over again, right? And you have to shift around again. And I don't know why they're doing that for the launch primals, right? That's sort of weird. Like, they're designing these to be, you know, somewhat challenging, but also very sort of beginner friendly in terms of extreme trials. But then they're putting in these awkward timings where you suddenly have to shift around your party buffs. I don't know why. That's just weird, isn't it? And then also, I mean, it would be one thing. I think, for example, during Zodiac, right? If I start the fight with, like, if I'm using my party buff on, like, the, what was it? I think the second GCD or something, or on Red Mage, I think it's the third one. Then actually your, like, the boss disappears before you can even use it, right? So in that case, it's not that bad. But in Heidelin, she actually stays around for like 2 minutes and 8 seconds or something like that. No, it's even longer than that. It's it has to be something. Oh no, it's not, because I can summon Bahamut faster, I think. Yeah. It's something awkward like 2 minutes, 8 seconds or something. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Something really, really awkward like that. Where, you know, when you're going through the fight, you'll automatically want to press your, like, 2 minutes. But then she goes away. Now, I don't know why they designed it that way. That's just awkward. That's just really, really awkward. And then the ads phase will also vary wildly in terms of when you actually complete it, meaning it will vary wildly when after the ads phase, the next 2 minute buffs will come up, right? It's just such an awkward design choice for fights that are meant to be beginner friendly, right? I don't know. So that's kind of my problem, right? They're sort of easy in certain ways, they're hard in other ways. It's just sometimes I really don't know what they're actually doing with all of that. Yeah. Alright, having said that though, I really need to get going. I'm gonna turn to my retainers real quick, and then that's gonna be it for today. I have to get up early tomorrow. Hopefully it's not too, like, hopefully there are not too many people at the supermarket. I still need to buy some stuff. Although I have all, you know, morning to do it, so it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm probably not going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow. Probably going to be a chill day, going to hang out with my family, and then maybe play some Animal Crossing in the evening while watching Jesse Cox or something. I will, however, be streaming on Saturday. I'm not entirely sure about lunch preparations or anything like that, or how easy it will be for me to stay online, but I'll definitely watch out for that, right? I'll definitely try to stay online. I mean, it's not a problem. Like, even if I'm having lunch, I can just always, sort of run back after like 20 minutes, move my character a bit, and then go back, and it'll be like a 1 hour. I mean, lunch won't take more than an hour, obviously, but yeah. For that, though, like I said, on Saturday, I'm planning to do finally leveling my botanist, but I do want to do the other firmament. Why am I suddenly forgetting how that's called? Firmament? Guardian Firmament? Whatever. You know what I mean. The quests, right? That I've already accepted in the other three I think, that were left. I want to do those. But I also then, obviously on Saturday, need to do the dailies from Friday as well. Yeah. And then I'll start the range roll quest as well. But I don't really have anything else to do, which is also cool. I mean, I can always hop into Party Finder if I actually want to try Party Finder, Heidelin, or Zodiac. I don't really know if I want to. I mean, at some point I do have to get the totems, but I'm not too... I don't know. There's so much time until 6.1, right? That'll all be fine. Savage comes first anyway, and yeah. Okay, let's send to my retainers real quick, and then that'll be it for today. What is this? Red coral. 39, that's unfortunate. Sold one more sweet alyssum. Whatever that's called. Yeah, 3's fine. Is this worth anything? Ooh, it actually is. Why? Let's do one. Oh, let's do this. Can these be sold? Do people actually buy these? Not really, right? Right, I can sell these as well. And then just put this on the market. Do I want to adjust the price of this? Probably, yeah. Let's do 249. Just because I have 10 more in my inventory. And the rest is fine for now. What is that actually? Shadow's Cot? Okay, that's fine. Why is it always gear? Can't it be something else? Gear is really boring. Okay, nice. It's actually quite a lot of gear for that random assortment of stuff. Sure. How dumb do you have to be? Like, honestly. Whatever. I'll keep it at this price. This is going up again in price. Interesting. Okay, let's put the die on here as well. Because I have 1 million dies here already. Kind of weird that people don't buy them though. You would think they'd buy them, huh? Let's put... Yeah, that's fine. That's not worth a lot. That's weird. Whatever. Maybe it'll still sell. Well, this still exists as well. That's unfortunate. Let's actually do that for... Okay. And I also sold some material, apparently. $81, nice! Alright, I sold the piety material for some reason. Can put more piety and savage aim, 3 piety, and then either savage aim, quick armor, quick tongue, whatever I still have. Sell that. I think I sold one more thing here. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's fine. $35K. That's also cool. Okay, material. That's here. Maybe I should actually put all that piety material on the market, right? I think that makes more sense. To be completely honest. Yeah. Maybe I'll get lucky and it actually sells again. I mean, 60, what was it? 63K for piety material? That's quite good, actually. Oh. Well. What did I put the other one? Let's do 5. I'm gonna do 590. Oh right, it puts stacks of 20, right? I mean, why not? $590 for 10 and 590 for 13. I'm actually going to keep that one slot open for now. I don't want to go back outside. Ah shit, I wanted to sell that as well. Oh, whatever. Turn that in. Still need to get stickers. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Wait. Oops, that was auto run. Yeah. Okay. It was a fun day though. It really was. God, this song's such a banger still, right? Anything else to say? I'm just thinking, yeah. So I already said what I'm going to do in terms of streaming. I really hope, I mean, next week, or rather after Christmas, I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to actually still do stuff and level stuff. Then I have to work, and then once again I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So there's still plenty of time to do things, to level stuff, but considering that I also need to get materia, considering that I would have to, in order to actually craft stuff myself, I would actually have to level all the crafters and other stuff. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do it. Again, other members of my static have already done it, so what I'll probably end up doing is trying to get a little bit more materia through hunt trains, actually. Although obviously I still want to level my botanist, I definitely want to level alchemist and culinarian, and then I'm probably going to opt for getting more materia through hunt trains, so that I am going to be able to overmeld my own stuff at least, right? And yeah. Other than that, I think... Oh yeah, in terms of the overmelding, that's going to be a problem anyways, right? Because we can server transfer in order to help each other meld. Ugh. Yeah, that might actually be a problem. I didn't think about that. Whatever. It'll be fine somehow. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. But other than that, I think that's going to be it. I hope that everybody has a really, really good Christmas. I mean, I know that Christmas Eve isn't really celebrated by a lot of people. We do here, however. For us, Christmas is tomorrow, essentially, right? Christmas Eve. And, yeah. So I wish you all an incredible Christmas Eve. I hope you have a very, very good time. I hope you have a chill time. You know, don't get stressed out. Meet your loved ones. I hope you all have a great time together. And hopefully get very cool gifts as well. Because that's obviously also a very cool part of Christmas. But with that, I'm going to leave you for today. It's going to be, it was a fun stream. I hope you had fun as well. And I'll be back on Saturday. Until then, bye-bye.